What's up, guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 1992 Nissan Fairlady Z. Up front is a 3.0 liter V6, and down below is a 5-speed manual transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this here Fairlady Z, not only because it's owned by my good friend Garrett, but it is a Fairlady. This is a true Fairlady, not a 300ZX sold here in the United States. Obviously, as you can see, I'm on the wrong side of the car, so this is the Japanese model, which I'm excited to get into today. But before we get on to anything else, I have a website, ZackPradle.com, where you can buy stickers and other merchandise when it becomes available. You could also submit your own vehicle to be reviewed by me through a quick and easy submission form, and you get a video of your car, just like this one. And you could read my behind-the-scenes blog to see what I'm filming before it comes out on the channel. But let's get back to that VG30DE under the hood. Well, it is a dual overhead cam V6 from Nissan. This actually gets carried over from the Z31, the previous generation of the Z car that was on sale throughout the mid-80s. It makes 222 horsepower, which is respectable. Now, there was the turbo option too that went up to 276, but honestly, driving the naturally aspirated Z versus the turbo, I don't feel that much of a difference. Is there a difference? Yes. Do you really notice it all the time? Not that much. Not as much as you would really think, which is good news for the naturally aspirated owners and I guess not so great news for turbo owners. And I'm talking stock for stock, of course. Like I said, paired to it is a 5-speed manual transmission. Feels great. Nissan of this era was really on top of their game, and that is very clear here with the shifter. Last but not least, of course, the Fairlady Z is rear-wheel drive. The driving experience is really superb. Just the turn-in, the power, it's everything I want, really. So with that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. We do have a couple interesting things in here that are Fairlady Z specific. Well, in front of me, I have 4 gauges. On the left is my coolant temperature. Then I get my speedometer in kilometers, of course, and tachometer off to the right with oil pressure down in the middle. And then I have my fuel and odometer off to the right. Attached to the gauges, I do have some interesting features. So to the left, I actually have the auto air conditioning. And the reason I say is that almost all Japanese Z32s got the automatic climate, as to where the American ones, not necessarily all of them did. So some interesting facts there for you. And thank you to Joe from Xenon Z-Car for that one. Off to the right of the gauge cluster, I have cruise control, fog light, gauge dimmer switch, and headlight options. Really, really cool that it's all attached. The steering wheel has since been changed out. This is a Momo steering wheel, which I actually quite like. And moving on to the door, I do have my power windows and my power locks. Moving into the center, I have 2 very flat climate control vents. And of course, a radio that has since been changed out, not only because 90s radios don't really keep up with modern tech, but when you import a car from Japan to the US, those radios actually don't get United States radio stations and vice versa. So you can't really listen to the radio unless you swap it out if you send it to America from Japan. Then I have the shifter itself. This is not the stock shift knob either. This is a Tomy shift knob, but the actual shifter feels fantastic. I absolutely love the clutch feel, the shifter feel. It's all on point. It's exactly how I would want it to shift. It's not too tight, not too loose, and I love that about it, and I've always loved that about Z cars. I've always really clicked with Z cars when it comes to the transmission. Then we do get an ashtray and cigarette lighter, and we do have power mirror options with power folding mirrors. Now that is something super, super cool. Then I do get a center console and handbrake and things like that, but that's really it, meaning there are no factory cup holders here in the Nissan Fairlady from 1992. So on that basis, it fails the big friggin' bottle test. The seats are very comfortable. They are leather. They're a very 90s leather, and they honestly feel and look on par with Porsche of the same era. I mean, they really are spectacular, and I love them. And we do have back seats as well. Not all Z32s got back seats. Most of the Japanese ones did. But we do have back seats, and as you can see, I've already crammed myself into so many back seats of Z32s that I don't think I need to do it again. You can watch those other videos. But they're not great. They're good for kids, amputees, and pets. That's about it. No other life should go back there. However, we will hop around the very back and we'll go take a look at the hatch. All right, so this is the back of the Fairlady Z. Nothing really too crazy to note back here. Do get a really nice light over there. But other than that, not really anything crazy besides the fact that this is the era of sports car hatches, and I love it. I miss this era so much because it's still practical. You could still fit so much stuff in here, and yet it's an awesome Japanese icon. How cool is that? Now we gotta talk about the looks, and I've only ever driven Z32s that were white or black. That's it. That's all I've done. I find that kind of funny, but I really, really love the look of this car. I love the headlights. I love the taillights. It's really cool at the back. You see it says Fairlady Z, which is a little special being an American. And overall, I really, really love the way this car looks. I think it's styled really well, and it's just been growing and growing and growing on me like a fungus the last couple of years. I have been bitten by the Z32 bug, and it is out in full force today. One last thing I do want to talk about with the looks is the fact that, of course, the Z32 still gets T-tops. I love T-tops. They are amazing. If you want to see my video essay talking about T-tops, what they were, why they were invented, and whatnot, please go check that out. It'll be up on your screen now. With all that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving a Z32 Nissan Fairlady Z? Well, first of all, Z cars themselves are fall. They are the season of fall. There's a brisk chill in the air, the leaves are changing, and I've just happened to have filmed a couple of Z cars in the past in the fall, and to me, it's quite frankly the best. I think the fall just fits with the Z car. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the changing of the seasons, changing of the guards. Maybe it's that cool, crisp air. I don't know what it is, but 'tis the season for the Z. Yeah, we can get rid of that for this last part. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's much better. You see, I think the Z32, and the Fairlady specifically, has the perfect essence of a sports car. It looks good, it's hot, makes great noises. It's still semi-practical. If you had to take it to the grocery store, you can, and it won't be too bothersome. It's also still somewhat rare, like sports cars should be. There should be a little bit of timidness with sports cars. But the biggest thing is that they nailed the driving experience. Oh boy, did they nail it. Oh, they nailed it in the head. The power is perfect. Would turbos be fun and help out? Sure, but I don't quite miss them. Oh man, it brings a smile to my face. The shifting is amazing. It's rear wheel drive as the baby Jesus intended it to be. It does all the things it needs to do right. It gets A+ where it matters. Not in algebra, not in history, but in arts and crafts. The wind is in my hair, a smile's on my face, and I'm happy to say, it's not the first time I've felt this way about a Z car. Oh no. The Z31 Fairlady that I drove, I touted as one of the best reviews I ever did, one of my favorite reviews I ever did, and still to this day is. Nissan nailed it in the 90s, man. But the crazy thing is that they didn't only nail it with the Fairlady Z. They nailed it with the 180 SX and 240 that we got here. They nailed it. They killed it. The Skyline, R32 or R33, is amazing. They're two of my favorite cars ever. The Nissan Sentra SER. It's not what I'd show up to in a red carpet premiere, but they were fun. I never, ever want to get out of this car. It's a bloody shame I do. Perfect. Well, huge thank you to one of my nearest and dearest friends, Garrett. He's been through it all with me. We've been friends for a very long time. He is absolutely awesome. He's had a turbo Z31 for a very long time, and he recently picked up this as a fun little weekend car, pairing well with his Z31. And might I add, I can't think of many more things that would pair as well as this. This is quite frankly, and I don't use this term lightly, The bee's knees. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you get the chance one day as I drive down the worst paved road in Detroit. I hope that you get the opportunity to drive a Fairlady one day. When life's got you down, you need a little Fairlady to pick you back up. Disgusting GTO. Man, I could go on for hours about this car. I should end the video. I don't want to, though. Power lines. You know, the interesting thing about power lines is that they're a lot like the Z32 because actually they both